It's Leslie here, and I just wanted to do a video today on something that comes up quite a lot with people who want to train with me or aren't training with me but just want to know why they're not seeing the results that they want to see. Um, and it's all about failure, or falling off the wagon, or not seeing results. However you want to word it, it's that that moment where you get on the scales and you just go, oh, all that effort and nothing's really happening. Um, and I just want to kind of give you a few tips on what might be happening, what might be going wrong, why you're not seeing those results. It's really, really hot today, by the way, in the UK, so we're loving it. So what we're going to talk about today is, let's say that you are someone who is currently at wherever you are today, and you want to be at this point. So you're currently starting here, and you want to get to here. Now, most of the time when people are here in their starting point, they're experiencing feelings. They're feeling a bit low about themselves. They've got lower self-esteem, low self-confidence, don't feel very attractive, aren't necessarily very happy, maybe feeling a little bit down in the dumps. And they're at this starting point and they want to get here. They desperately want to achieve this point B where they think they're going to be happy. They think they're going to be more confident, have more self-esteem, and the chances are, if you achieve that, then you probably would have those things. But you've got the people who start at point A, and they don't really know what to do. They don't really know how to start. They don't really know what the best diet is, or so on. And they just, obviously, they don't see results because they're not really doing anything. They don't really know what they should be doing, so they're just kind of hopping from one thing to another, and they're not seeing the results. You've then got the people who are at point A who've tried before, failed, tried again, failed, tried again, failed, or they're trying really hard at the moment, but they're just not seeing the results that they think they should. And they're kind of moving along a timeline, trying to get closer to this point, trying to get closer to what, the happy place, which is the goal. But obviously, every time they set off on this journey, or this transformation, or this this trying to achieve this goal, they come on and they start and they fail. They start again and they fail. They do it again and they fail. And each time this happens, it has a very strong impact on what goes on in your mind. Okay, so it not only affects your mindset and your motivation, but it also is going to start to affect your beliefs, what you actually believe you're able to achieve. So it really, really does start to have an impact on your future efforts, because each time you start again and this happens, you fall down into this pit. There's a negative thought process that goes on to it. So you start again, you think, oh yeah, but last time I did it, it didn't really work out for me. And you just start to build on this. And what happens when you start to do this, you start to create these pathways in your mind. You start to create stories that you're telling yourself as you're trying to start. Okay, so again, you start again, but then you drop off, and again this starts to increase even more, this belief pattern that this point here, this happy point of the goal, maybe that's not possible. Maybe you're never destined to get to this point. Maybe you were never meant to be that size or that weight or that person. Maybe you feel you're not good enough to be that person. Deep down, you might not say it out loud, but deep down, you start to feel that maybe you're not good enough. And all of these negative things start to add up. So what happens is your stories start to fuel your beliefs, and then your beliefs in turn start to refuel your stories. So you go round in this vicious cycle, and each time you fall down into this chasm of not achieving what you wanted to achieve. So what also happens here is you start to build up fears. You start to sort of feel your fears a little bit more. Maybe you have a fear of failure. Maybe you have a fear of, whatever it is. And what would be really good is if you can comment below on this video what your fears are, and what you believe as well. Maybe what you believe you can achieve, because all of these things, all of these times are really impacting your mindset. And I will cover mindset in a separate video, because it's a whole other story and a whole big topic to try and discuss. So basically, in short, previous attempts and previous failures are creating beliefs which you're then making stories from, which are fueling fears, which it all goes around in a vicious cycle. Okay, so maybe point A and point B seem too far apart, and you start to believe that point B is something that you're not meant to have, you're not meant to be. Okay, we don't want that. And what you actually need to do in order to actually jump beyond this and actually travel the line is, when these failures happen, don't look at them as failures, look at them as lessons. You can learn from your mistakes, you can learn from your failures. Okay, so we don't want to see these as failures. Failure is it isn't a thing. You only fail if you stop trying. So for as long as you're trying, you haven't failed yet. All right. Again, mindset is a way of looking at things. So what we need to try and do is break free of this belief system and these fears, and actually take ownership of them. Actually recognize that they are there, because when you start to believe things, you need to be aware of it. You need to consciously be aware of what's going on in your own mind in order to overcome it. The other problem is, obviously, I've said about these people who are trying and failing. There's another thing that might be going on, is you've actually been trying, maybe trying and failing. It's not necessarily that you can't achieve these things, or you're not doing enough, or you're doing too much, or whatever. It might be that maybe you're just using the wrong information. Maybe you're just following the wrong plan, the wrong method for you, because we're all different. So, and I will explain this again in another video, but maybe you're following a diet for someone who is, maybe doing no exercise and eating too much, and you're maybe doing plenty of exercise and eating too little. So you may have the wrong information and you're just utilising it wrong. It's not personalised to you. So we've also got a scenario of wrong info. Okay, it's not personal to you. Okay, which again is going to cause these problems. Now, thinking of that, there's also other factors that need to be considered. So you could be your hormones might be out of sync. You might have crazy hormone issues going on that you don't know about, because your body doesn't, you don't have a CPU system in your body that says, hey, your hormones are all over the shop, you need to get it sorted out. So you may have hormone imbalance. You may have an underlying health issue, which maybe you are aware of, or maybe even unaware of, but it's having a knock-on effect on the results that you're seeing. Your expectations may be too high, so you're putting too much pressure on yourself, which is again resulting in things not happening. Your nutrient balance, you might be eating the wrong kind of foods for you. Your body might not be liking what you're putting in. Too much exercise, too little food, too little exercise, too much food, those balances as well. So where we've got these points here, what we can start to look at is your balance. Okay, and I don't mean balance standing on one leg, obviously, as I've just said. The exercise and food needs to be balanced, hormones need to be balanced. It's a there's more to it than just go to the gym and eat lettuce. Yeah, that's not the answer. You may also be experiencing, as a lot of our clients do, a high level of stress. Now, stress has a really big impact on your weight loss because, again, it then leads back into your hormones. So this links, okay? And things like cortisol and leptin and all those sorts of things, they all get knocked about when you've got high levels of stress. So maybe you've got a high stressful job, maybe you've got children, young children that misbehave, or you've problems at home, problems with work, whatever it might be, problems with your car, whatever it might be. If your stress levels are increased, we may not see a result here. So, and the problem here is as well is people tend to stay in a stressed state for so long that they forget what stress-free actually feels like. So we need to try and work out, if you're stressed. Then here you can start to look at things like sleep patterns. So maybe you're not sleeping enough. Maybe you're going to bed at midnight and waking up having broken sleep through the night, or waking up early, or going to bed really late and getting up early. Maybe you're not getting enough time overnight to reset everything. So we need to set good sleep patterns in order to reduce the stress in one point, but also help to balance the hormones. So again, it all links back in. And then finally, on this fourth point, you may want to look at something quite important, which is your digestion. If you've got any kind of digestive issues, if your gut flora is not right because you've had so many different diets going on for so long, you may have a bit of an issue with metabolism or something like that, or your body is, not that you may have an intolerance, but you might have certain effects from certain foods that just don't suit you. So, and there's more of these as well, that there's more points, but if we can fix your digestion with a healthy, nutritious diet, improve your sleep and your stress, all of these things will help lead to balance. And once your balance is there, because it's been personalised for you, you will suddenly find yourself travelling along, not necessarily in a perfect line, but travelling along to point B. These beliefs and stories and the fears related to them will start to reduce because your mindset and your body are working together. Okay, so I hope that's been even just a teeny bit helpful, and I will do a couple of more videos to explain like the balance and how nutrition can help with that. So maybe like the carbohydrates, insulin response, things like that, insulin sensitivity, and also another mindset video so you can understand a little bit more about mindset. But obviously, if you've got any comments or questions with regards to what I've written up on here, then by all means, please just comment or get in touch, and more than happy to have a chat with you. Okay, so like I say, hope that's been helpful. I've been Leslie, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.